All right. What's going on, everyone? My name is Tyler Royke. I'm here with my co host, Jimmy Doolin. You're listening to ABC Agent Broker Conversations, where we talk all things real estate. And yeah, if you're looking to grow and level up, we're glad to have your ear here. But Jimmy, what's new in your world?
I think that the theme for today and myself will be consistency.
Consistency.
I
I
think
like
that I think that's my theme of the day because where I am right now and with everything that's going on, and there's just so much going on, Tyler. I think that it's the consistency to do the right things over and over and over and over again, despite the noise, and the noise may be good noise. It may be the activities, but it's continuing to do the right things and not getting sidetracked, not getting distracted by all that other stuff because what you're doing is working. You just have to continue and push through when you've got the activities you need to do, plus the results of the activities, plus the activities, plus all the results. And it's that snowball, right? Rolling down the hill.
yeah.
So consistency is where my mind is right now, my friend.
Yeah, I feel like I resonate a lot with consistency and just persisting with the path that you know is going to get the results. And it sounds like you're stacking up some results yourself here. So it's an exciting time of the year here as we go into the summer,
And
the peak of the summer.
I guess we shouldn't forget to talk about our trip to Dallas, um, and the stuff that was there and the new releases. I mean, it's actually because it's obviously we have to do the lifting, right? We have to do the work, we have to do the activities, but I would be remiss if I didn't continue to applaud that EXP continues to provide us with the tools and the platform, the improvements, the enhancements, the forward thinking, the direction, that makes the activities that guys like you and I do. It doesn't make them possible. What it does do is makes them easier, because when your brand is speaking so loudly in the marketplace and so prolifically and so um, forward thinking, then your phone call, my phone call, your text, my text, a meeting, whatever, all of that is just, that's all the stickiness, so that when you make a connection with a human, they're like, oh yeah, you're with that company. Wow, I love what that company's doing. So there's no doubt that the efforts that Glenn and Leo and team are doing are making our lives easier. There's just no two ways about it.
Yeah, I'm hearing that more and more. As far as the frequency of people that I hear when I wonder, like, what did they, what made them want to look into EXP? I'm hearing more and more that people are just hearing about it online, and I know a big part of that is what EXP is doing from the top down, especially from the marketing team. They've completely revamped everything in the past year, and they're a lot more louder and present in the key places where they can possibly be to be something that people are hearing about. So I think that definitely factors into making our lives easier, just having more and more places that people are hearing about us just around the industry. And I think as time goes on, I wouldn't be surprised if more and more often, if AI starts telling people that this is where they need to be when they're putting in prompts to try to figure out what their next move is.
Wow. Now that is, you know what, you're 100% correct, but wow, that is cool. Like when AI starts saying, pick up the phone and call Jimmy Doolin at EXP, or pick up the phone and call Tyler, like at EXP. That's that's when you know you are really, really smart in your decision making, right?
Yeah, heck yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that happening. I mean, especially with just the brokers in general, but also, I mean, anyone who's making themselves, just putting out content pieces around that topic and conversation. I think that's going to be really powerful.
Speaking of AI, how about the stuff that we did in our meeting in Dallas? Was that not? pretty incredible, all of the AI tools. And I don't know, just that what we took a 2 hour window and created solved a problem with software creation all through AI on the spot, live, and in like that was pretty neat.
Yeah, we did a
Wrote
workshop.
code.
Yeah, that was all about AI. We built GPTs, and I implemented what Tina had shared. Yeah, Tina, I was sitting with Tina Call, and basically she taught us how to create our own GPT in our own voice that helps us with our creative material. And I did that, and I'm putting it to work. I've gone in a short period of time to not like basically not using AI at all to like I use it a lot now. Especially for it being such a short period of time that I've made that shift. But I'm just I'm using it to just help me create a bunch of stuff is probably what it comes down to. Not even just content, not to like, hey, make me a 52-week content outline for social. That's not even what I'm talking about, but just like, I have it in my mind, like, hey, here's what I want to create. I'm kind of prompting it in a way to create what I envision, but in my own voice, and then I refine it from there, and it actually is my own voice as a result. So I'm finding that it's kind of an accelerator of time if you use it correctly, because like even what I was working on this weekend, I was thinking about it like I probably couldn't have gotten done in a week what I got done yesterday just with what I was building out with it. So anyway, yeah, that came from that workshop, and it came because we were sitting at the same table with someone who's already implementing it at a pretty solid level for what she does.
Yeah, it was certainly impressive. Very, very impressive. And I just thought it was really cool that they, kind of brought that to the forefront for us to explore it, write code and create technology and solve problems. And here's how you can solve a problem quickly. And that was pretty impressive stuff. So, I don't know what was kind of your biggest takeaway from the entire event?
I'm trying to think. I might need to pull up my notes. I haven't really thought as much about it since we were there, but I know I've been mainly focused on going. I think before the end of Q2, my biggest focus, and I kind of had a mindset shift like a week or two ago, was like I really need to get my systems fully dialed in, like and make that my top priority here to close out the quarter. So that's kind of what I'm focused on, and I'm not sure to what extent that came from Dallas. I think some of it might have come from Dallas, but probably a couple other things leading up to that point as well. But yeah, let me see. I'm looking through my notes right here. I'll tell you something here in a moment. What was your biggest take?
Well, I'm pulling mine up as well to see. There was just so many things. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes. Because of course I've got my notes on my Kindle Scribe that I keep bragging about.
I know, and I was observing you using it, and
oh, you were.
Yeah, definitely piqued my interest. I think I'll definitely be getting one here before long.
Well, the cool thing is when I got back to the office, so we always incorporate these notes into our team meetings, and so having this on the Kindle Scribe made it really simple. I just went through, used the AI tool to turn it into type, and then forwarded it over to Tamara, and Tamara was able to go through and extract what she wanted to put into our sales meeting, which is tomorrow. But normally it requires me to go back and handwrite so much of it. I did think that the guy that talked about the single property websites and how he uses AI to do all that stuff, I did think that was pretty freaking amazing. I don't know that it was the biggest thing for me, but I did think he used that Google Street View, remember, and he turns it into a nice painting and then creates.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really neat. I do like the CRM choice. That's obviously all over the place now. That after we've talked about it at our meeting, I thought that was pretty neat. One of the things that I was really fascinated by was all of the publicly traded companies and the delusion of the stock. But I didn't. That's not my expertise. So I was fascinated by it, but in the same breath, I didn't fully understand it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have the like publicly traded companies. Oftentimes they'll issue more shares, and that's kind of what he was getting at. He was looking at like, well, because it's kind of like inflation. If you print more dollars, publicly traded companies, as long as they're authorized to do so, which they'll have that in the filings. What they're always authorized to issue up to a certain amount of shares, and usually it's more than whatever the current outstanding shares are. But if they issue more, it effectively works like inflation. You're issuing more shares, and that's where it would dilute the value. So that's what they were looking at, is what that looked like across different companies in our industry.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly. By the way, the gentleman that talked about all that, Mike
Del Preti.
Del Preti, yeah, I thought he was quite fascinating. I don't know him. I do plan on following his podcast, Context, it's called.
Yep, I like his keynotes. He posts his keynotes on YouTube anytime he does a new one. Usually it's every few months he does a new one somewhere, and yeah, he's done some really good ones up to this point.
We're gonna implement talking about the tech stack and the value of the tech stack that we offer at EXP. We're going to use that in our conversation. So I found that to be pretty interesting. Tamara has registered for the Win in Orlando. Matter of fact, not only has she registered, but she's also invited some EXP as well as some non-EXP ladies to go with her. So she's now got a group of 5 or 6 women going. That I'm pretty excited about that, because that gives her an opportunity to network and build relations in the organization outside of stuff that I may have. So, or some of it may overlap. I was super stoked to hear that EXP Con next year in Paris, July 26th to 28th. I feel fairly confident that the Doolin family will be in Paris for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we love Paris. Our daughter loved Paris, so we went often. So that for us that's going to be a neat. And I was really excited, which obviously I will definitely be at EXP Con in the US this year in Miami, but next year in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Salt Lake City. I've never been, so I was excited about going to somewhere I'd never been before. What's Go High Level? I made a note of it, and I'm not really that familiar with it.
It's like ClickFunnels, but better.
Okay. I've got 2 appointments set with people regarding co-sponsorship that came out of the Dallas meeting. A couple of people saying, they want to understand, they want to co-sponsor with me in Indiana. So they wanted me to be their Indiana source. I've already done one with somebody I met in Dallas, so that was pretty exciting. Already done one co-sponsorship, in the first week back. I'm still going through my. I don't know. There was just so much. There's a dozen things there that I just shared with you that are, I guess that there's my biggest thing that I keep thinking about is trying to get through all of these things while getting, get through these, implement, put them in place, the ones that are valuable to me. Because in 3 months, there'll be another one of these meetings you and I'll be at together.
Yep.
And then we'll get a whole new. So yeah, there's a fire hose. There is a ginormous fire hose that is pumping out, and it's moving at a quick pace. I think I'm going to take the Team Leader Mastery.
Okay.
Are you familiar with EOS, the operating system?
Yeah, I'd say I'm fairly familiar with it.
So I ran my Remax offices on EOS.
Okay.
And so when they talked about doing the Team Leader Mastery and running and doing it on EOS and then providing EOS to the graduates of that, that kind of intrigued me because I know how effective EOS can be. Now, when I had my 10 offices on EOS, I had 32 full-time staff. So there was a lot of people compared to what I have now and what I need now. But there was a lot of people involved in EOS. So it'll be a different EOS platform for me. Because right now, administratively, it's Tamara and I.
Mm-hmm.
Now we do have team leaders, satellite team leaders in several places, so they would come into play. And we do have an interview with a new potential person to come on from a staff perspective, because we just kind of need one person. And then, so I don't know. I think I'm going to take that course just to brush up on it. Gain some more knowledge, run more efficiently. What I found from EOS in the past is you got more done and less slip through the cracks.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's a really cool thing how EXP is providing that opportunity for team leaders at the cost, which, I guess is substantially lower than if you were to go seek their help directly with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what I was spending. I'm sure for the number of participants. My guess is there's a fee for the number. We also had an EOS coach involved in ours. So there was that piece as well. So I don't remember what I was spending, but again, 32 staff and more people and more places. And so anyway, all good.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, some of my takeaways from Dallas, just thinking through it, is with AI, I think a lot of people don't understand it, but if there's one thing to understand, it's speed to lead, and that was kind of a piece of the conversation we all had in Dallas was how used correctly, that's really what it's all about is maximizing your opportunity to have a higher speed to lead with a lot more leads than you could possibly have without it. And trying to see what else here. Well, I guess for instance, someone shared, with online inquiries, when someone reaches out for more information on, it could be anything, it could be a property, it could be about, joining a brokerage, whatever it is, but 50% of the online inquiries across the board don't get responded to just in general in the industry. So, someone shared this simple thought, but like, hey, if you want to increase business over 50%, the solution is really simple. Always get back to people. But imagine if you could implement, AI in a way to, not only get back to people in an effective way, but to do so quickly. That would take your numbers through the roof if that weren't already happening. And
are you using Fixer?
I have started using it. Yes.
That's one of the things I think of when you talk about that efficiency, because when I came in this morning, I try to stay out of email and the stuff that I'm doing is Monday to Friday. It's not Saturday, Sunday stuff. If an agent in my team or in my organization is looking for help, they'll text me. But email from me for the most part is Monday to Friday. But at any event, when I came in this morning, I had 37 prepared responses to go out.
That's awesome.
37 emails sitting in my draft box. So I went through each one of them, some of them I made tweaks to, some of them, I said that's good enough. But boom, 37 emails went out in the time of about, I don't know, probably less than 2 minutes. And they were responses to emails or they were follow-ups because somebody hadn't responded to something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, it saves a lot of time, and that's what I'm really liking about it is it's not about replacing you. It's about being more effective with it than you could. I mean, that's all time savings there. If you had to manually respond to all those, even if it was all short responses, that's 37 emails. Have them all ready to go, where you just have to like approve. I mean, you just got all the time back from that. You probably got more emails sent out than you otherwise would have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I will tell you this, not only more, but the quality of the email. I mean, listen, I'm a 2-time community college dropout, so my emails are really usually only 2 and 3 letter words. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know, okay, thank you, received. Mine are usually short and sweet, but these emails are nice. And I mean, they're so much more professional and eloquent than I would be, because I'm much better communicating via voice than I am via email. So they are far more, but I just couldn't believe. I mean, 37 of them blew me away. When I walked in here and opened up my email, the first thing I did before I started reading emails was go read the 37 responses and get them out. And honestly, Tyler, it may have taken 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
About it. And
Yeah.
some of them I was able to just delete because I thought, well, heck, that's overkill. I don't need to respond to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's nice if you prefer, spoken communication, and I'm starting to build this habit too of just using the voice prompts and, not even typing stuff in. Because I've always like, when it comes to just stuff online, I always type stuff out. But then it occurred to me, I'm like, wait, this is really good now. So let me just like tell it what I want. And so I'm getting better at just doing that. And oftentimes it's like, hey, I might have spent a few minutes typing something out. I'm just like telling it something within a 30-second prompt now, instead of worrying about like typing it. So, that's another time saving element of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that blew me away this morning. And there was probably 20 of them in there that were folks that I'm, engaging in conversation with about joining EXP. So 20 of them were just follow-ups to those conversations. And and I would say that they were in general follow-ups that maybe would not have been as timely. I doubt I would have come in this morning and said, oh, I have these 20 people right now. I need to get these out. So they're, pardon me, I would say they're more timely than they would have been based on that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes to the speed to lead too. And yeah, that's something that's on my mind is I want to utilize it to just be more present in front of more people more consistently, to ideally create more ongoing dialogues and conversations with people as a result of just being seen more often. So that's a big way of how I'm starting to utilize it and planning to do so going forward.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, we're going to keep these tools and, all of this. We're just going to, I mean, the industry is going to keep moving at a quick rate. We're going to have to continue to get smarter. continue to use more of these tools in an efficient way. And I think for old guys like me, we're going to have to surround ourselves with younger people that can continue to help us, move along. Because, there's a benefit to, person my age who's got 35 years in the business. I have a lot of experience and knowledge for the industry, but the stuff that's happening can move faster than and in directions that I'm unfamiliar with. So I know the industry and I know what the agents need and I know how to help, but I may not understand the technological use of it. So um, that's that's the thing that I take away from all of this is sitting there and learning from people is certainly valuable, but having people actively utilizing these things around me and helping me, walking me through it, integrating them is even more beneficial. So it's kind of a two-step process for me. But the good news is if I sit in those meetings like I did in Dallas, I get the note and then I can come back and I can use technology, use AI to better understand some of the thoughts and the concepts that were presented. So, did you walk away with a clear understanding of what they are going to do with respect to FUB?
No.
I didn't either. I don't think that they had a clear. There was discussion around it, and I think that it is on the table to be an additional CRM in the choice category, but I don't know what the details are. I was kind of curious about that.
I don't think they have the details worked out. I think they were really pushing to have it worked out, but it sounded like they were still working with the FUB team to work those out. But it sounds like they're wanting it to be one of the choices, but it sounds like it's going to be a premium option if it is. So that's what
So maybe a discounted rate, but not a free one.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
I'm seeing a lot of dialogue and discussion out there. I don't buy any leads. I never have. I'm not anti. I just it was just never a part of my plan. But I'm seeing a lot of discussion in work groups and work chats that I'm on, like some of those bigger groups of people talking about um, the quality or that lead like lead conversion has been dropping off lately. Are you hearing about that? Is that consistent with what you're hearing? Because I just don't work them, but
general, or is this like a specific like lead source?
just in general. Like I mean, there was one on there this morning on in work chat, and let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here's one. Anyone using FUB getting high answer rates. Ours keeps going down. I had someone call 642 dials today and only got to talk to 4 people.
Jeez.
Another person responded, we had an average of about 20%. Depends on the quality of the lead. Yes, we have good engagement and answer rates on our FUB numbers too. I don't know. So that's just one that I saw this morning, but I've seen several of people just talking about the leads. I mean, 642 to get 4.
Yeah, to me that doesn't sound like leads. That sounds like phone numbers that you got somewhere, not good ones at that.
I would agree. That doesn't sound very positive, does it?
Yeah, because that's a really terrible, like that's less than 1% answer rate. That's like bad data right there.
Certainly seems that way.
But I have heard that I've heard from, I don't know if it's true across the board, but I've heard from it seems like at least a couple people I've spoken, probably several people I've spoken with recently that have been in the business years. It seems like a lot of people's sphere business is down, and I'm kind of wondering that reflective of the market? Just that because the sales are down in general, is that why people's fear business is down, or is potentially maybe some of that business is getting gobbled up by others that are using some of these ways to stay in front of people more than maybe someone with this fear if they haven't really optimized what they're doing to stay in front of them. I don't know, but I know I've spoken with several people that have been in the industry for longer than I have that have expressed to me that they're really struggling, and that their sphere seemingly has dried up. So
May was not a great month for our team. We didn't do near as much as I would have expected, but we had a great April. Our May was a bit light, and I don't, I was a bit surprised by it, quite frankly. I would have thought we would have done easily, double what we did. Pardon me. I would have thought we would have doubled what we did, but nonetheless, we didn't. So I don't know. We keep plugging along. So consistency. So let's talk about it. What you're like me. You're making. I think you do. Are you doing outward dials? Are you doing outward emails?
no, I mean, I do emails, but it's to my database that I'm building primarily. So, but yeah, I don't really do outbound calling.
Okay. So mine is outbound, and I've got to manage staying on top of the outbound while maintaining the ones that I've cultivated and booked an appointment with. Right? It's what I used to find is that I had these large gaps of time, and now what I'm finding is that I've got to get better at maximizing the 15-minute gap or the 30-minute gap in between two appointments, type of thing. That's where I've got to improve, because it's what I'm finding is now I get off this. I get off. Let's say when we get done here, I might have 10 minutes, 12 minutes between there and my next appointment, and it's like, okay, get on the phone and make two calls. Or get on the phone and make a call, whatever the numbers are that work. But I'm
Hmm.
starting to see a little bit of struggle with that because of just those, when you've got an hour gap or a 2 hour or a 3 hour gap between appointments, you can get on and knock a bunch out. But doing it with a 15-minute gap or a 20-minute, and I keep thinking, I haven't done this, but I need to probably look at time blocking the activities so that I don't schedule appointments in those times. So that's kind of my next thought. But it's just it's the plan's working, so it's staying consistent to the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely I feel like I could get better at making more happen with the gaps as well. Um, so yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I've got to maximize those things better. But I guess those are just I guess those are all just part of the evolution, right? Part of growing, part of changing. Um, it's you want to grow. As a result of growing, you've got to learn to manage that growth in a positive way, and maintaining the support, maintaining the last thing you want to do is grow and then not provide what you said you would provide when you were growing. So I don't want to not be a man of my word. And in other words, I don't want to grow in an unhealthy way that doesn't do ultimately what I said it would do. I want it to grow the right way with the right people. But that does mean I have to I've got to be more I've got to be better with those little time gaps.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, what else as far as like consistency? Is there any other element of it that's on your mind?
No, it's really that. It's just like I said. It's just maximizing. I mean, certainly using tools. Um, like when I mean, it becomes utilizing tools that streamline processes. The 37 emails this morning. That saved me a bunch of time. I now, when I have these Zoom training meetings that I'm doing with different segments of people in my group, that fixer thing is puts the assistant on there, it records it, it types it all up, it creates the notes, and it prepares an email to go out to the participants around there. It's just all of those type of things consistently. The consistency that the technology provides is also incredibly beneficial to what we're doing as individuals, right? I mean, it makes us look even better than we are.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, yeah, I think it's just all about plugging that stuff in. On a side note, two side notes, unrelated to real estate. How about my Pacers?
Oh, how are they doing? Did
What do
they
you mean,
win?
how are they doing? They're going to the NBA Finals.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's,
Nice.
it's the
Congrats.
Pacers and OKC.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
we could be. This is our second time going to the championship, and so we could be NBA champions in the matter of 7 more games. Um, Worst case scenario, we're number 2. But
Mhm.
either way, I'm really proud of those guys, and man, they are they are a proverbial Indiana basketball team, gym rat type of team. You don't have that massive name on there, but boy, what you do have is a bunch of guys that are hustling, and they contest every single shot. So anyway, really excited about that. And then the next thing is, you probably don't even know this, but I've got an adventure motorcycle, and I bought it. The idea is, as an old man, I'm going to ride a motorcycle and do these adventures instead of motocross where you're jumping. I'm going to ride the trails and camp, but I've become good buddies with another guy and who has one, and I'm going on my first adventure ride. I've owned my bike 5 years, and I've ridden it plenty, but I've never been on any adventure rides, and I'm going on my first one this weekend, so I'm real excited about it.
Oh, cool. So is it like a road trip or like
No, this will be gravel roads, trail. I mean, there'll be some pavement, but pavement,
okay.
gravel, dirt trails, creek crossings, and we camp, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I've been riding motorcycles all my life, but used to ride motocross type bikes, and I've done a lot of fun stuff on them. But as you get older, you really don't want to fall and hit the ground that often.
Mhm.
And so adventure bikes is, I joke around and call myself old. I'm 54, but a lot of guys my age have moved into the adventure bikes because you're not jumping, but you still get the thrill of riding out in the woods and going across a creek, and still mud, dirt. It's not for the those that are unskilled. Trust me.
Mhm.
I mean, my bike weighs 750, 800 pounds before I put gear on it, before I put myself on it. So, I've got 1,000, 1,100 pound two wheel Haas going down the trail. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
That's awesome. Hope you have
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah. I'll have lots to tell about that. Well, my friend, I think I better get at it, get plugging, get working. I've certainly got a lot to do and a lot of follow-ups, and heck, by the time I get over to my inbox, I'll probably have more drafts created that need to go out to people responding. Closing on a beautiful house today for $3 million. So that's another good thing.
That's great.
Happy for my clients to get that successfully closed today for them. So, yeah. At any event. Well, my friend, you have a great week. And for everybody out there, listen, like, comment, questions, share. Let's have this conversation. Conversation's better with you. So join in on the conversation. We'd love to hear what you have to say. We'd love to share, and we'd love to have you challenge us. We'd love to have you support us, etc. But we're certainly open to anything you got to say. For Jimmy Doolin and Tyler Royke, this is ABC's Agent Broker Conversations, coming to you, having this conversation each and every week. Well, with a few exceptions.